Shall I do my haul videos? Shall I do my haul videos? I think I will. Ooh. Hello again. Today I am going to be showing you the amount of books I bought in April, May and June. I know you're probably thinking, why are you doing it for April, May and June? Well, because I go through periods where I buy lots of books or I don't buy lots of books, and it's just might look a bit better if it's during April, May and June. And because I did buy these April, May and June, so I have a giant pile and then another pile. Hopefully, because it's spread out over 3 months, it won't look so bad. Fingers crossed. Oh, where to start? I picked up this Star Won't Go Out by Esther Earl, and it's also got bits from Laurie and Wayne Earl, her parents. I guess if you know John Green, you probably know who this girl is. She is John Green's friend. It's her biography, and I really want to read it. I'm gonna have to rush through these because there's a lot. The next one I got, these are, I'll say where they're from. I got that one when I went to Milton Keynes. This one's from when I went to Milton Keynes. It is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This is coming out as a film, and I've always seen it in my local bookshop and thought, I want to get this, but it's actually quite expensive. I'm looking forward to this because I want to read it before the movie comes out. And then the next book I got from Milton Keynes is The Skies Everywhere. And they asked me, why have you got this? You've already read this. I wanted my own copy. I loved this book so much. It was just so cool. The little notes, I thought they were really cool, and they added something different to the book, if that makes sense. It's by Jandy Nelson, in case you didn't know. Yeah. And then the next book I got was When We Collided by Emery Lord. I've seen this around on Goodreads and stuff, and I thought, oh, I should get this, but I've never seen it in my local bookstore, although my local bookstore has a lot of manga and anime now, so you know, yeah, we'll be going there, spending more money. And it says on the back, 17-year-old Jonah Daniels has lived in Verona Cove, California his whole life, and only one thing has changed. His father used to be alive, and now he's not. Reeling from the tragedy, Jonah must take care of his family. And to Vivi Alexander, new girl in town. Vivi is in love with life, a gorgeous unfiltered hurricane of thoughts and feelings. She transforms Jonah's family, and changes his life. But there are always consequences when worlds collide. It sounds a bit like Paper Towns. Not that I've read Paper Towns by John Green, but it does sound a bit like Paper Towns. I didn't get you in Milton Keynes. I got you in Milton Keynes. All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. Yes, I've seen this around, and I've always meant to pick it up, you know, but I didn't, but now I have. The story of a girl who learns to live from a boy who wants to die. I always pick the cheery books. I mean, so far I've got 2 that are 3 that are about grief. Dying. I really go for the cheery books, you could say. It says on the back, Theodore Finch wants to take his own life. I'm broken and no one can fix it. Violet Markey is devastated by her sister's death. In that instant, we were ploughing through the guardrail. My words died too. They met on, I don't know what that voice was. They met on the ledge of the school bell tower, and so their story begins. It's only together they can be themselves. I send a message to Violet. You are all the colours in one, at full brightness. You're so weird, Finch, but that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. I really don't know what these voices are, but as Violet's world grows, Finch's begins to shrink. How far will Violet go to save the boy she's come to love? I mean, from what I've heard, most people have read this book by now, so I'm probably late on the train of that. I look at the covers and I think, oh, you're pretty, I'll buy you. That's probably not the best way to go buying books. I mean, they say, don't judge Don't judge a book by its cover. And the next one I bought, yeah, that's what happened. I got so many books, I think this cover bent and I was so sad. It's The Winner's Curse by Marie Rotowski. I saw Sarah Jane on YouTube. Yes, I see a lot of them. YouTubers on YouTube. She interviewed this lady, the lady who wrote it, Marie Bukowski, and I heard her, Sarah Jane say it was very, very good. So I thought, you know, one day I'll pick it up. Again, this is a lot like how I pick most of my books. I hear people say they're good and I think, oh, one day I'll get it. And this just happened to be the one day I get most of these books. It's my life, my how I work things. That's how I do things. And just think, oh, one day I'll get you. Although one day I'll read you. You'll probably be sat on my bookshelf for a very long time, but I will get around to reading you one day. So it's The Winner's Curse. It says on the back, winning what you want may cost you everything you love. As a general's daughter in a vast empire that revels, not reveals, in war and enslaves those it conquers, Kestrel has two choices. She can join it's all going downhill from here. She can join the military or get married. Kestrel has other ideas. One day she's startled to find a kindred spirit in Arin, a young slave up for auction. Following her instinct, Kestrel buys him, and for a sensational price that sets the society gossips talking. It's not long before she has to hide her growing love for Arin, but he too has a secret, and Kestrel quickly learns that the price she paid is much higher than she could ever have imagined. Ooh, I mean, the cover's really nice. I mean, look at that. She's like holding the word. You know? So no, it's not the last two books. I bought 3 more books in Milton Keynes, duh. The next book I bought in Milton Keynes was Beautiful Broken Things by Sarah Barnard. I actually got this from the library. I rented this book. I didn't go around to reading it. I do that a lot with library books. But I get to keep them longer because I'm visually impaired. So they sort of don't rush me, which is nice because I'm not the fastest of readers, let's admit. I don't want to say it's like Mean Girls, but it's about friendship. Caddy and Rosie have always been inseparable, but that was before Suzanne. Now Caddy wants to be more than just the quiet one. She wants something to happen. I was brave. Suzanne is trying to escape her past and be someone different, someone free. She was reckless. Sometimes downward spirals have a momentum of their own. We were trouble. And no one can break your heart like a best friend. That is true. No one can break your heart like a best friend. But I quite like the sound of that. Although I think I've heard mixed things about that. This book, next up, has a story behind it. It's A Rebel of the Sands by Olwyn Hamilton. I don't know whether I had never heard of this book, and then it came on my Twitter feed about how this girl had done like a box order thing, you know, where you get like a subscription box, so you get it every month. Apparently this book was in there, but it had been unlawfully produced, like it was copyrighted and all that, and it was, yeah, and that's how I heard of it. So then it came on my radar, and when I saw it in Waterstones, I thought, I'll buy that. I'd heard about it. No, so I thought, yeah. But other than that, I don't know much about it. The back says, tell me how you want your story to go, he says, and we'll write it straight across the sand. Dustwalk is an unforgiving, dead-end town. It's not the place to be poor or orphaned or female. And yet Amani Alhiza must call it home. Amani wants to escape and see the world she's heard about in campfire stories. Then a foreigner with no name turns up with him, and with him she has the chance to run. But the desert plains are full of dangerous magic. The Sultan's army is on the rise, and Amani is soon caught at the heart of a fearless rebellion. I think it sounds slightly like Blood Red Road by Moira Young. Thankfully it says it on the spine. The last book I bought in Milton Keynes was another one, a bit about grief. I know, there's a theme here. It was The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas by John Boyne. It's the 10th anniversary edition. In school, when I was at school, I read it. Well, no, I didn't read it, but we were studying it in school. I didn't get to fully read it because health issues and I wasn't always at school. But we read like sections of it and we watched the movie. So I thought, when I saw it, I thought, I'll get that because I would like to read it the whole way through. The story of The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas is very difficult to describe. Usually we give some clues about the book on the cover, but in this case we think it is important that you start to read without knowing what it's about. If you do start to read this book, you will go on a journey with a 9-year-old boy called Bruno. Sooner or later you will arrive with Bruno at a fence. We hope you never have to cross such a fence. I read this back bit before and I thought I loved the sort of description, because sometimes you sort of read and you just sort of think, but where it's like, we hope you never have to cross that fence. It's sort of like, It's almost like a beautiful summary of it without sort of saying what it's about, if that makes sense. So the next book I bought when I was, again, someone took me downtown and I said, let's go in the local bookstore. And I managed to buy a book, and it's actually what I'm reading right now. It's Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. I finished Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo, up there somewhere. And I thought, oh, I haven't got this book, but I'd like to carry it on because I'm sort of in the mood to sort of finish it. I'm in the mood to sort of finish the series. So I'm reading it, and I'm using my nice bookmark. I spit like story of my life. I think most people have read these books, but in case you haven't, I'll read the back. The darkling gently folded me in his arms. I will strip away all that you know, all that you love, until you have no other shelter but me. For Elena, time is running out. To destroy the darkling, she needs to find the elusive firebird, and she needs to find it soon. The darkling's power is growing, and so is his connection to Elena. Can Elena escape the hold he has over her? Does she want to? Mal is the one person Alina can rely on in an increasingly uncertain world, but could giving it into the bond between them be the most dangerous decision of all? I kind of know where this goes romantically, and if you watch my Unpopular Opinions book tag, you know how I feel about that. But other than that, I think this could be a really good conclusion. I don't know if you saw, it made me so thrilled. Leigh Bardugo saw my tweet and she liked it. She replied to it. I was like, oh my goodness, thank you. Like, fat girl moment. The next book I've got, sporadically, that's the best word I can say. Well, it's been in 3 shopping trips I've bought these books. So, the first shopping trip, I got This Raging Light by, only thing it's called, Estelle Laurie. Laurie? I've seen this on Goodreads as well, I think. I'll read the back. How is it that one day Digby was my best friend? My best friend? My best friends? That doesn't make sense. It should be my best friend because it's one person. Yeah, that should be right. He's twin brother, and then the next he stole air. Gave jitters, twisted my insides up. This is getting me twisted up. It's not written clearly. And with Mum gone, Mom, gone, bills to pay and rent to look after, with rent to look after, why does the best thing happen at the worst time? That was very hard to read. And also, what I love about it is, look at how big the wording is. You see? Look, that's massive. That's massive for me. Because most books are tiny writing, like the next one I bought at the same time as I bought This Raging Light. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Again, if you watched my Unpopular Opinions book tag, you would know I hated the first one. Like, I hated it with a passion for more than one reason. That I'm not going to go into because I don't want people to sort of be like, why did you hate it? It was so amazing. I just did. And I did sort of and ah over whether to get this, but I mean, I was eventually going to get it because I sort of wanted to read it. Yeah, I got it because I thought if I hate it, I can just cast it off and be like, no, I don't even have to read the third one. Do you know what I mean? I can clear as day say, that was terrible, and sell the books. Or put them on eBay or whatever. Or give them to someone who will want them. Like, I felt like I had to give it not a bit more of a fair chance, but a bit more of a chance. Because, you know, that first book could be terrible because it's sort of the start of the series and it could be just like building it up and then it gets better. I mean, I've read reviews where someone hated the first book and they loved the second, so, you know, there's always that plus, you know. Yeah. I'll read the back. Sarah is immortal. After rescuing her lover Tamlin from a wicked fairy queen, she returns to the Spring Court possessing the powers of the High Fae. The Fairy cannot forget the terrible deeds she performed to save Tamlin's people, nor the bargain she made with Rhysand, High Lord of the feared Night Court. As Feyre is drawn ever deeper into Rhysand's dark web of politics and passion, war is looming and an evil far greater than any queen threatens to destroy everything Feyre has fought for. She must confront her past, embrace her gifts, and decide her fate. Ooh. So hopefully I'll like that one. Sorry, itch on the face. The next book I got all together. Yes, the first one is The Shadow Queen, C.J. Redwine. It says, destroy the dark, take the throne. I believe it is a retelling of Snow White. Yeah, the vibe I'm getting from the cover says I'm correct. And it says at the back, mirror, mirror, Lorelei, powerful enchantress, vengeful fugitive, crown princess. She must kill the wicked queen who took both the Ravenspire throne and the life of her father. Irina, dangerous sorceress, ruthless manipulator, poisonous ruler. She must hold the throne, dispatching a dragon-shifting huntsman to cut out Lorelei's heart. The Ravenspire is rotting beneath Irina's dark magic, and the huntsman is at risk of losing his own heart to Lorelei. In this dance of death, there can only be one victor, one queen to rule them all. And then if you see mirror, mirror there, can you see it? And then you sort of put it there, it's upside down. I mean, and then it's got like a red thing. I mean, I must say, the presentation of the book is amazing. But yeah, sounds like I could be right. It is a Snow White retelling. The next book I got in this part of the shopping trip I did. Crushed my finger. Anyone do that? It hurts. Is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I know it's weird. I love the Summer I Turned Pretty books, and I've never read another Jenny Han book before. So I thought, now's the time. I've loved them books, you know. Why not try something else of hers? And on the back it says, Lara Jean's love life is about to go from imaginary to out of control. Lara Jean's song keeps love letters in a hat box her mother gave her. One for every boy she's ever loved. She can say anything she wants because the letters are for her eyes only. Until the day they're sent out. I mean, it sounds like it could be quite funny and quite like, oh, it sort of like makes your heart hurt, like, because it's like, it's relatable and stuff, yeah. The next book, there's so many more, there's still a pile left, is Trouble by Non Pratt. I think it was said Non Pratt is going to, I think it was said she's going to Yauk. So I thought, I want to get a book by Non Pratt and sort of read it. And then I can sort of be like, I've read it, you know, sign it. This one, the front cover says a boy, a girl, a bum. It looks quite cool, and it's called Trouble. It says on the back, Hannah is smart and funny. She's also 15 and pregnant. Aaron is the new boy at school. He doesn't want to attract attention. So why does Aaron offer to be the pretend dad to Hannah's unborn baby? Growing up can be trouble, but that's how you find out what really matters. Ooh, I like the sound of this book, and when I read the back I thought, oh, I like the sound of that. Yeah. We're moving on quite quickly now. And the last book I bought in this shopping trip was Seed by Lisa Heathfield. I loved when I read the back, I loved the premise of it. There's on the back, a story of a life lived in a cult. Trust us, the kindred tells Pearl, and so she does. 15-year-old Pearl has lived her whole life at Seed, where they worship nature and idolize their leader, Papa S. But when a new boy from the outside arrives, Pearl experiences feelings that she never knew existed, and she begins to realize that there is a darkness at the heart of Seed, a darkness from which she must escape before it is too late. A tense romantic thriller that won't let you go. I like this premise because I've watched things like Breaking Amish and things like that, and the one about the cult that oh, what was it called? Yeah, I watched that TV show, even though they said it was a bit staged, but I still watched it and I thought it was very interesting. No, I find it interesting, the sort of the dynamics and sort of how they sort of live, because it's so different to like how everybody else lives, if that makes sense. I just found it very interesting, and I thought it's a new concept that I've not heard books do, and I've always sort of had the idea of I should write a book like that, which I may do one day. Look for it out in stores. Sophie. That's if my singing and acting career has not taken off yet. I'm a triple threat, you know. Singing, writing, acting. Yeah. Jokes. But yeah, I just like the concept of it, and I love the little bee in the middle. I just love the cover. I thought the cover is so great. Oh look, there's a face in it. I never knew that. Dude, how did I not know that? Visual impairment problems. Do not fall, pal. The next one I ordered off the internet. I ordered it the same time I ordered the Funko Pop. It came literally the day after my Funko Pops came, and I didn't get no email to say it had been dispatched, unlike the Funko Pops I got emails to say they were being dispatched. So it was a pleasant surprise. And my mum gave me this in the morning and was like, here you go. I'm like, cool. The other one though, I ordered is a pre-order, so I'm not expecting it to come. It shouldn't come until June. But I got the Orphan Black comics. It's so cool. And this one is it's got them all, because I wanted to get a physical copy, but I could only get like the single character ones on like a Kindle or something. They are really the black. Sarah's life was changed dramatically after witnessing the suicide of a woman who looked just like her. Learning that not only was she and the woman clones, there were others just like them and dangerous factions at work, set on capturing them all. Now the mysterious world of Orphan Black widens, with new layers of the conspiracy being peeled back in this miniseries, written by co-creators John Fawcett and Graham Manson, with Jodie Hauser, and art by Sisman Kudransky, Alan Qua and Kat Staggs. So I got them all in one book. I read this in like one day. Yeah, as soon as I got it, I started reading it and I finished it by the end of the day. It was so good. But it's not like a full story. It's sort of different moments of their lives, if that makes sense. And I'd also I wouldn't recommend it unless you've watched the series, because otherwise you won't know what's sort of going on. Yeah, Sarah. See, I had to bring Orphan Black into this somehow. That's Helena, Alison, Cosima, Rachel. And now Rachel's one is the one that I'd say, if you're going to read one, I'd read Rachel's, because it has a few little sneaky tidbits in. You sort of think, oh, I did not know. Yeah. And then the next one, Helsinki, I believe follows MK and some other clones. I think it goes further into Helsinki. Yeah, I would recommend you watch the TV series first. And then this last set of books were the books I picked up yesterday while shopping, and I went for some different ones as well. I thought, I'm branching out. Like, yeah, branching out so much. Night Owls by Jen Bennett. I saw Casey Ann, I think this is the one Casey Ann read, and so I was recommending it. I'll read you the back, cause you know, we all like that crap. He was definitely checking me out. What should I do? Earth to Beatrix. This was the night bus, not a journey song. Two strangers are not on a midnight train going anywhere. Meeting Jack on the Owl. San Francisco's night bus turns Beatrix's world upside down. Jack is charming, wildly attractive, and possibly one of San Francisco's most notorious graffiti artists. They're always attractive in this. But Jack is hiding a piece of himself. On midnight rides in city rooftops, Beatrix begins to see who this enigmatic boy really is. A unique and profoundly moving novel. Night Owls will linger in your memory long after the final page. And then there's a bit of a step out of my comfort zone, I guess you could say, but I've seen people recommend it, so I thought, I don't even think I put it on my want to read list on Goodreads. I know, rebellious. Is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Can't really tell you what it's all about. It's about a night circus. I'll read the back. The circus arrives without warning. No announcements precede it. It's simply there when yesterday it was not. The night circus made me happy. Playful and intensely imaginative, Erin Morgenstern has created the circus I have always longed for. This is a marvellous book. That was what the author of The Time Traveller's Wife said. Audrey Niffenegger. Long, hard name to say without saying something rude. This could be an interesting read. I mean, it's a very long read. We'll see how long that takes me to read. The next one I got is another one that's a bit out my comfort zone that I sort of thought, oh, I'll pick that up. I don't know why. I just had this urge. I mean, really, I went there looking for After You by Jojo Moyes, because I'm still, I mean, people have said to me, don't read it. It's not worth it. But you know, you just sort of think, should I? I mean, if this is fate's way of telling me not to buy it because I can never find it, maybe I shouldn't. But instead, I got a fantasy book. I'm really branching out with the fantasy now. It's Samantha Shannon's The Bone Season. I think I've seen people recommend this. Sorry, my jean is cutting into my thigh. Yeah, I like the cover of it. On the back it says, even a dreamer can start a revolution. 19-year-old Paige Mahoney works in the criminal underworld of Sion, London. Her job to scout for information by breaking into people's minds. The page is a dream walker, a clairvoyant, and in the world of science she commits treason simply by breathing. Again, it's a very long book, so it could take me a while to read that. Although I don't think it's as long as The Night Circus. The next one I got is Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. Seen people recommend this, like seen people say it's good. And you know, I just picked books up because they seem quite cool. How my mind works. It's a very long book again. It's good to take me a long time to read. People create long books just to sort of tempt me and think, yeah, you can read that, but it might take you a long while, but you'll read that. The last book today is one by Sarah Crossan. I've seen this everywhere, and I've sort of never really known what it's about until I sort of read, I think the day before I went shopping, that it was about conjoined twins, and I thought, oh, that's a new concept, just like that seed's a new concept that I've not really heard about. So I'll read you the back again one final time. Here we are, and we are living. Isn't that amazing? How we managed to be us all. Grace and Tippy don't like being stared and sneered at, but they're used to it. They're conjoined twins, united in blood and bone. What they want is to be looked at in turn, like they are truly two people. They want real friends, and what about love? The heart-wrenching decision lies ahead for Tippy and Grace, one that could change their lives more than they ever asked for. I really like this concept, and I really like books that sort of not dare to sort of talk about subjects like conjoinedness and death and, I don't know, sort of the ostracism between anything that isn't in the norm, I guess. Not saying that being conjoined is sort of normal, well, but it's kind of cool that sort of people are venturing out with this kind of topic of sort of disability, I guess, and sort of live a different life than most, I guess, or special cases of nature, I guess. So that was my book haul. I've got a lot of books, a lot of reading. I mean, a lot of them will just end up sitting on my shelf for a very long time. Sorry. And I don't think I'll better buy more, and then I get further down the list. But I hope you enjoyed that. That probably won't be another one of these for a long time, so my bank balance can recover. Tell me what you think of these books, whether any of these any you want to read, or any recommendations you recommend me. I mean, my mum won't be thankful for that because it'll mean more book shopping, but I don't care. Because one book that I wanted to get, but I couldn't find it anywhere, was A Thousand Nights, but I wanted to get that actually. I can't find it anywhere. I might have to order it off Amazon. Seated stop will have to be Seed, because very much appealing to me at the minute. Or one, maybe. Did anyone see Catherine Doyle's reveal of the third book in the Vendetta trilogy? Oh my god, the cover! I love the purple on it. It's called Mafiosa. Whenever I hear Mafiosa, I just want to say Leviosa. Mafiosa. But yeah, I cannot wait for that book. Cannot wait, and my excitement. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave some comments below about the books, whether you think I'm crazy for spending all this money, but I sort of don't care. Thank you for watching. Bye.